Hi everyone, Stepan here. I have black in this game again. I've played this opponent before and I won, although I don't know when, I don't remember. Okay, I'm playing d5. The name seems awfully familiar, so it may have been recently. I apologize to my opponent if I played him like 2 days ago. Okay, so the previous game was pretty tough. I lost in an attacking position in which I had a repetition which I didn't consider, although it wasn't hard to consider it. I messed up the position basically and allowed my opponent a beautiful attack, and he mated me, or he would have mated me had I not resigned. Before I get into the video, everything should be okay. And I went into the exchange Slav. So this should be fun. The exchange Slav is an opening I hate. I don't think there's an opening I hate more. So I'm going to play a6 here. He wants to avoid knight f3 too early to prevent bishop g4. If he plays bishop d3 here, I'm playing bishop g4, and on queen b3 I have knight a5, which is why you play a6 to make sure you can have b5 ideas later on. Okay, I'm playing bishop f5 here. This should be normal. Again, queen b3, knight a5. Here I think rook c8 is correct. Rook c8 should be correct, yes. And now rook c8, queen b3, knight a5, queen a4, b5 should work because I still haven't played e6. Okay, rook c8 should be good. I have to watch out for e6 too early because then there are some ideas of queen b3, knight a5, queen a4, b5, knight b5. For now, I'm controlling d7 3 times, so he doesn't have any tricks. But if I do play e6, then I will have to calculate. So if he castles, I need to calculate e6. I'm expecting him to castle. So e6, queen b3, knight a5, queen a4, b5, knight b5, a b5, bishop b5. For the moment, I can play knight d7, but then bishop d7, queen a5 wins material for him, so I still have to be careful. So castles, e6, queen b3. I could just play b5. I don't have to play knight a5. Now that I've prepared b5. d5 is defended. I think b5 works here. If he goes a4, I go b4. If he plays knight b5, then I think I have a b5, bishop b5, and queen to d7, and on queen a4 I'm busted. This is actually not easy. He did trick me into some weird move order which I don't know exactly, and even though the exchange Slav is a sort of tame opening in which it's going to be a calm strategic position after we both castle, before we both castle, it's you can just lose in a single move if you're not careful. Okay, he doesn't play queen b3. He doesn't play queen b3. So if I take, he wins the pawn, because pawn takes knight d7, knight d5. So that's clear, I cannot take. If I play e6, then queen b3 works perfectly. If I go b5, with the idea of queen b6 later on, I may still be in trouble. This is tricky. If queen b6 now, he has knight a4, queen b4, or queen a5. The knight drops back to c3, I play e6. I actually like queen b6 here, it seems to resolve all of my issues. Queen b6 castles, e6, knight a4, queen a7. I don't like my queen on a7, but I have to castle at some point. So e6 loses, I cannot do that. That's definite. I could play a weird setup with g6, but I don't want to. If I play b5, I'm guessing he can just take it. b5, well, not if I can get my bishop back to d7, but I'm still not convinced. b5, knight b5, a b5, bishop b5. Bishop d7, knight d7, queen d7. Rook c1, and I lose. Okay. Okay, so I'm playing queen b6. I think queen b6 is good. I don't want to waste too much time. And again, I'm not convinced about this move, but I think it gets rid of all of the issues in the position. And next I can safely play e6. If knight a4, then queen a5, knight c3, e6. If a3, then bishop e7. Should be fine. Yeah, last game I lost terribly. I don't want to grab material and get mated again. I think last game I was up a pawn in the exchange and I got destroyed. So it seems that every time I get a bad position, I grab material. Luckily that cannot happen in the exchange Slav. Of course, again, he has to resolve the issue of his b-pawn now. He could castle, of course, that should be fine. And I'm not taking the b-pawn if he castles. Definitely not. I think that's a very poisoned pawn. Although I may be able to get away with it, I need to play e6, move my bishop and castle. As you could see, I'm avoiding, or I've been avoiding playing e6 for the last two moves, even though it seemed most sensible, because I was running into queen b3 issues with the sacrifice on b5. Knight e5 basically prevented e6. I actually hate this opening so much that I'm considering playing it myself. It's extremely irritating to play against. It's an equal position at tempo up, and you basically get to do everything both sides want to do first. I think he should castle. I I don't think he needs to be worried about his pawn at all. I think I remember now. I think I played this guy 2 days ago. I think this was the Greek gift game. I think I played him in that game. At least he's playing slowly. So if we're gonna be in time trouble, we're both gonna be in time trouble. I don't know what his candidate moves are. If I were white, I would be thinking about castles, and that's about it, because on queen d2 I have knight e4, which forces knight e4, bishop e4, and then you have to play f3. And I simply play e6, threatening bishop b4. And when you castle, I play bishop b4 anyway. You have to play queen b1 or queen e1. And then I think your king is weakened. Because of f3. So queen d2 is out of the question. What? Okay, he just wants to grab my d5 pawn. And my rook is hanging in the end. That's the issue. So I was thinking bishop g4, knight g4, bishop g4, or first knight e5, d e5, bishop g4, knight g4, queen g4, queen b2, but then he has queen c8 in the end. Wow. But he hasn't castled, so do I play queen b2 now? Queen b2, knight d5, knight d5, rook b1, queen a2, rook b7, okay, so bishop g4 doesn't work. So it's either knight takes e5 or queen takes b2. So what does he do on queen b2? I'm not sure what he does. If he plays knight a4, I'm going to play queen b4 check. I think queen b2 has to be correct here. If he takes on f5, I take on c3 with check. If he plays g5, I take on c3 with check. If he plays knight d5, I take on d5. He plays rook b1, I have queen c3, knight f4. Okay, I'm taking on b2. I think this is correct. I think queen b2 has to be fine. Knight a4, queen b4 check, knight d5, knight d5, gf5, queen c3 check, rook b1, queen c3, queen d2, queen a1, queen c1, rook c1, knight e5. I did not expect g4. And it's a thematic move. I've faced it in a tournament game in a position very similar to this. So the point of g4, if I just moved like bishop g6, then he plays g5, and once I move my knight, he takes on d5 with tempo on the queen. Which I don't know if I mentioned, so I just wanted to say it again. Again, I don't know if g4 works here, because the knight hangs with check. We will see. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Before you castle, the exchange Slav is a mad opening. Once both sides castle, it gets very calm and almost boring. I don't think g4 was a good move. I think I get too much with this queen b2. Especially because before he takes the bishop, he doesn't have rook b1. I actually don't know what he does here. I mean, he did play with the same piece twice. He did play knight e5, and of course, if I had played e6, it would have paid off, but I played queen b6, so I think he had to castle. Okay, I have to play queen before check. I just have to. I don't have any other options, I think. Let me just double check. Queen before check has to be played. Yeah, queen before is the move. I have to do it. Okay, and now I'm not hanging my deep one, so I can safely move my bishop away. I could also win the knight with b5. Or I could go knight takes e5, and he has to take the bishop. Because if he takes the knight, I have bishop c2. So knight takes e5, d takes e5, bishop c2. Knight e5, d5, bishop c2. He can play rook b1. I take on a4, and he has bishop d3 in the end. That's annoying. I could play a normal move like bishop g6 or bishop d7. That's always an option. But the problem with bishop g6 is knight g6, hg6, rook b1. So I think I need to play a bit more aggressively. If I play knight e5 and he plays gf5, I have knight c4. And if I play knight e5 and he plays d5, then on bishop c2 he has queen d5. No, sorry, on bishop c2 he has rook b1. And if I take the queen, I can play king d7. So knight e5, d5, bishop c2, knight e5, g, f5, knight c4. And on rook b1, knight d2. Okay, I'm going for that. I think it works. Because I have bishop c2, or I have knight c4, knight d2 ideas. Wait, on rook c8, king d7, knight b6, king e6, am I safe? I think I am, but I could be getting mated. So if d5, bishop c2, rook b1, rook c1, bishop d1, rook takes c8, king to d7. Knight b6, queen b6. He doesn't have knight b6 check, it's safe. So now on gf5, knight c4, rook b1, knight d2 should win cleanly. Unless queen d2, rook c8, king d7, knight b6. I have to play king e6. Okay, let's have a look at that. I'm gonna play knight c4 because that's what I have to play. I mean, I don't have any other options. Okay, he wants to play rook b1 now. So I think now it's time to save my b pawn. Although it could be time to get my pieces out, but I want to play b5. b5, knight c5, queen a5. Knight b7 doesn't do much. He doesn't have e4 just yet. If he takes on c4, I take with the rook. So b5, knight c5, queen a5. And next I want to go e6. And bishop takes c5. Okay, I'm playing b5. I don't want to allow rook b1. This may be unsafe, but I don't see how allowing the rook to b7 will be playable for me, so I'm going for this variation. He doesn't have knight b7. Because I go queen b6, he could go a4. He could go a4, but I'm going b4, excuse me. Yeah, a4 is irritating. And I have to play b4. I think I have to play b4. Unless I have knight b2. But I don't think I have knight b2. Why is this game so complicated? Okay. Whew. He didn't play a4. I'm very happy to see that. So now finally e6. Finally. I get my pieces out. He can check me on h5, I don't care. I'm going to take once. If he plays knight e5, I'm not reacting to it, I'm playing bishop e7. I think after queen a5 he had to go for a4. a4 was very scary. He's down to 30 seconds. This is going to get messy. I'm thinking about g5 here. g5, bishop g6, and knight e4. But then he has bishop h5. But I have g5, bishop g3, h5. And he has to play h3, because if he plays f3, I have knight takes e3. So g5, bishop g3 forced, h5 threatening h4. He plays h3. And I can go knight g4 threatening knight e3. No, but he played h3 already. I'm playing g5. I like g5. Wait, he can check me nevertheless on h5. He can check me immediately. Okay, I need to start. No, I cannot start with h5. Okay, bishop e7. Bishop e7. If I castle, he has bishop h6. So I think I am gonna go rook g8 and try to hide my king on d7. I couldn't make g5, h5 work. He constantly had those irritating checks. I think my king is safer on d7 than on g8 with the open g file. And I want to bring my queen back with queen d8. Okay, he wants to play e4. He wants to play e4. He wants to play e4. Do we try trading queens? I think we do, because the knight is loose. The only square he has is queen to b1. And then I think we go knight e4. Yeah, let's try this. Let's try queen d2. Because if he trades, I'm controlling e4. If he plays queen b1, I'm playing knight e4. Threatening queen takes d3. Okay, knight e4. I think he has to take, but then his f2 pawn hangs. Let's try it. And if he plays rook d1, I have knight f2. This I did not expect. Can I go g5 safely? I think I can. And then g4. Let's chase those pieces away. Is bishop d6 a good improvement? I think it should be. On d5 I'm playing e5 immediately. Now I'm thinking knight d2 and knight f3. Knight d2, where does the queen go? The queen goes to c2 or b1 to b1. No, it cannot go to b1. Okay, I'm playing knight d2. Okay, now knight f3. Defending the pawn. If he plays rook c1, I have bishop a3. And now I want... Okay, he wants to undermine here. He wants to undermine here, so I need to get in with my queen. He cannot take, because his rook is getting chased away. I think queen c3 has to be correct, just taking over the c file and making sure I don't lose my e5 pawn. Okay. Okay, are we ready for h5 now? I think we are. I'm taking with the g pawn, of course, because I don't want... Wait, I just lost my e-pawn. I just lost my e-pawn. No, I didn't. I have knight e1. Knight e1 check. Bishop. Okay, I have to play here. I have to play here. And I just lost another pawn. I just lost another pawn. What am I doing? I'm getting very frustrated now. I'm just playing like a moron. What do I do now? I don't know what I'm doing. I had such a good idea. I mean, the idea sucked, but in my mind, it was a great idea. Yeah, he just takes on e5 now, I think. No, queen e5. Queen e5 is good. He cannot take on e5. Okay, this is not chess. This is, for me, this is bullet. What do I do? I have absolutely no idea what to do. Oh, is this mate? This is mate. Yeah, okay. I just hung mate in one. Oh, Jesus. Oh. I'm sure I had a win at some point. Let me just say good game. Good game, well played. He said sorry, very lucky. Let me just say it's fine. You played great. Okay, I mean, I think anyone could have won this game. 3 blunders, 5 blunders. Jesus, this was a messy game. Okay, 95. I was still in theory here. After queen b6, white is better, but it has been played twice by grandmasters, by David Bronstein. Okay. g4, queen b2 here, queen b4 here. I'm winning after bishop e4. I don't know what the difference is, because I weaken e3 probably. Here, here, here. Wait, b5 is the mistake? Oh, I just play queen b5, queen c6. Ah. Yeah, he should have played a4, as I said. Here, 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 here. Castles is correct. And what do I do after? Oh, on bishop g6, I just go rook f7. Jesus. Wait, he could take on e4. 95 check, 95. Knight c3 winning. What's the point of knight c3? Preventing rook d1. That's a very nice move. Knight c3 is simply preventing rook d1. Okay. Bishop d6, I'm still better, but I need to play queen b2. Yeah, I need to force a queen trade. Why did I play queen a5? Why didn't I consider queen b2? I played all of this. All of my moves are correct. Okay, h5 is bad, but yeah, I should have just kept my pawn. Jesus, queen c2 just keeps my pawn, and I have a complete bind on the position. Oh. I had 25 seconds here. I need to see queen c2. I need to see that my e4 pawn is hanging, which I didn't see. And then rook g7. Queen c2 prevents queen h7. Queen c2 prevents queen h7 and threatens knight e1. Yeah, this is... I'm so upset now. It's just stupid. Why didn't I play queen c2 here? Queen c2 just prevents queen h7. I was afraid of this. I was afraid if I play Like in this position, if I play knight e1, of course, he plays queen h7, and on bishop e7, he has d6. And wins, which I saw. Could have prevented that with queen c2. What's rook g7? Okay, this is what training is for me at least. I'm bad at tactical positions with little time on the clock, so this is perfect training. Online rating makes no difference to me, really, and I'm training for tournament chess, so it's better to get angry during a training game and after a training game. And I need to start thinking more clearly with little time on the clock. Again, that's why this is good training for me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you got something from this game. I think I will in the future, not now. Now I'm mad. Ugh. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.